point in everyone's life where you just kind of know when is the right time. And I definitely felt that now is the right time. I wanted to touch on why I decided to end my 2-year no-buy and some helpful tips on things to stop doing while you're on a no-buy or trying to do a no-buy. If you want to hear why I have decided to end my no-buy after a year instead of 2 years, then just make sure to keep on watching. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys subscribe. I put out content weekly, so you don't want to miss out on all the fun. Also, make sure to check the down bar for all my other links to all my other social media platforms. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop on into the video. My 2-year no-buy after doing it for 1 year, there really wasn't no exact reason as to why I decided to end it early. So I wanted to sit down and definitely film a closing video, if you will, on my experience with my no-buy and things that I have learned while on my no-buy, why basically I ended it after 1 year instead of going the full 2 years. I will also put in the cards, I have another video on what things that I have learned while on my no-buy. If you want to go check that out, it is very informative and informational as well. I will again have it listed in the cards for you guys. So let's go ahead and start first on things that maybe you should try to stop doing if you are thinking about doing a no-buy or while on a no-buy. Just some helpful tips on things that helped me on my no-buy. This is just my perspective and experience, and just some helpful tips to help you in case you might be feeling a little lost or confused or just struggling with your no-buy in general. These were some things that I had tried to stop doing and felt I was rather successful at stopping while on my no-buy. I definitely want to say the first thing to stop doing is comparing yourself to other people. It's really easy to compare yourself to what other people are doing. Everybody works differently. We don't use makeup the same way. We don't have the same lifestyles. We don't have the same fashion. We don't have the same budgets or the same concerns. And we don't have the same goals. I was beating myself up over things because I kept seeing other people who were more successful than me, and I was comparing myself to people who were like basically living a different life, different lifestyles, who had bigger incomes than me, people who were like makeup artists or influencers, and people with way larger collections even than mine. You definitely want to try to stop comparing your progress or your results with other people's progress or results. The next thing you want to stop trying to do is planning purchases so far ahead. Planning purchases like I'm going to buy this when my no-buy is over, or I'm going to buy that when this sale hits, and I'm going to buy this, that, and this. Having like a wish list of all these things that you want to purchase or plan to purchase is literally setting yourself up for failure. So it's definitely better not to plan purchases and delete any wish lists you may have. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to plan and have structure, but when you're focusing on too much on what you're going to get and what you're going to buy in the future, you're not focusing on what you have now. So you're still basically avoiding the problem. You're just kind of waiting for the time to pass because then you're just going to go back to buying makeup. So have you actually learned anything from your no-buy as a result? No, you just kind of suffered for a couple of months when you really just wanted to buy a whole bunch of stuff. My next one is a big one, and I had this also in my previous no-buy check-in, and that would be to cut back on your social media usage. Unfollow any triggering accounts such as brands or even influencers who may be pushing buying or talking about buying makeup a little too much. Anyone who is constantly buying new makeup or haul videos, new product reviews. It might be tough because you might feel an emotional attachment to some of these people. But trust me, it will only benefit you in the long run. And they're not even going to know that you unfollowed them, nor care, chances are. It's always good to get inspiration from other people, to connect with people, to have good conversations with other people. But it's not good to get into that mindset of, I'm not worthy because this person is better than me. So just try to be a little more conscious of how much actual makeup social media you are intaking on a daily basis. The next thing is you definitely want to avoid any types of makeup sites like Sephora, Ulta, Beauty Bay, Beautylish, brand sites. It's not going to be helpful to browse any of these types of sites if you're not going to purchase makeup or you're trying to purchase less makeup. Because just seeing all this stuff constantly, you can get hooked easily, and it's so easy to make it a part of your daily routine. The more you see, the more you want. I know that's how it was for me. I would check my Sephora app daily to see what was new, even without the pressure from other people or FOMO, fear of missing out, because I was seeing it every day just by exposing myself to it on a daily basis. Just by browsing. Just try to slowly stop browsing and it will become less appealing over time. It won't be an immediate thing. I still used to like looking at things, but I slowly started to look at things, even like trend mood on Instagram, because it was just too much all the time. Constantly. Then I got overwhelmed. Since cutting back my social media intake, I definitely feel so much better. And it just makes more sense because if I wasn't going to be purchasing any of this stuff, then why would I constantly be browsing and looking at it? Next one would be to stop saving products for a special occasion or for a special day. I hear this all the time. People say that they can't use that eyeshadow palette or that lipstick that they really love because it was too expensive or because it was a gift or it's not something they could repurchase or something that they could afford. So they don't use it. They sit on it. That's a huge problem. Use your stuff. Use the good stuff and use it because you like using it, not because of any other reason than you enjoy using it. You don't have to save it for that once in a while special occasion. Use and enjoy your makeup all the time. Makeup is considered a perishable and will eventually go bad. If it's special to you because it was a gift or because it's expensive, then you would want to use more of it and make sure you get the most use out of it, because you love the sentimental value that it holds. So why not get full enjoyment out of it? Learn to really discover what you love about your makeup collection. There's so much that you can play with and so much that you can discover with the makeup collection that you have. There's always more to learn and ways to experiment with your makeup collection and with your products and discover things you might not have even known how much you love, especially if you're just sitting on things or saving them for a special occasion and not rarely ever using them. If you run out of that item, it's okay to go out and repurchase it because it's a staple product that you use every day. I know I struggled with this at first and was like, oh, well, I'm on a no-buy, so I know I won't be able to go out and buy my Benefit Dip Brow when it runs out because I'm on a no-buy. But that's not true at all. You can go out and repurchase that item because you love it. You used it every day and was able to get full enjoyment out of it as a result. So those are just a few helpful tips that I wanted to share with you guys on things to maybe stop doing while on a no-buy, or if you're thinking about starting a no-buy. And the reason I decided to end my no-buy after 1 year instead of 2 is simple. I have learned so much from my no-buy and gained self-control and better healthy spending habits when it comes to purchasing makeup and ways to set restrictions or limitations on myself. I finally learned to declutter, which I will be doing a declutter series soon. So my no-buy has taught me how to declutter, and just by seeing and realizing the overwhelming amount of makeup that I have in numbers, my numbers are so large in size, and I know realistically in my mind that even if I was on a 10-year-long no-buy, I would not ever be able to use all of this makeup that I have acquired. And by acquiring such large numbers in makeup, it has also helped to kind of curb any temptations or wanting to really just go out and have a free-for-all or a huge shopping spree now that I have decided to end my no-buy. But I felt that if I was to continue on and continue to try to do it for a whole other year, that it would basically be kind of useless because I've learned everything I could possibly gain from the no-buy. So to try to do it for yet another year would then only really be kind of agonizing for me. And then maybe there would be some kind of like temptations to creep in, or I would probably find myself browsing again, and it would be more of a miserable experience, more so than it has been a learning experience this year that I've actually learned from. So by extending it, I just felt I didn't want to ruin what I have gained from the no-buy, and I feel that by doing it for 2 years instead of 1, it would have definitely done that. I found myself at the end just kind of getting just tempted a little bit, looking at things again, and I'm allowed to do that. We are allowed to go and look and browse. It's just a healthy way and to set healthy boundaries on how much you browse and how often you are looking or searching for makeup. So by being on the no-buy, it has definitely helped that. I haven't went back and like followed or resubscribed to a bunch of makeup pages or beauty accounts or beauty influencers, and it has definitely taught me so much self-control and self-discipline. I have a beauty budget that I am setting up for myself. I don't want to necessarily go into 2021 on a low buy because there's no need for a low buy for me. I did go out and purchase a couple things since ending my no buy. I made it past 1 year entirely. I was going to try to wait till the end of January, but after 1 year, I just kind of went and bought something rather inexpensive too. It was a BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, which those are like $12. It wasn't very expensive. So it wasn't like I went out and splurged and everything that I have learned from my no-buy went out the window and I went and bought the most expensive thing or dropped hundreds of dollars. That definitely wasn't the case at all. I bought a BH Cosmetics palette, the Toasted Avocado palette actually, which is so extremely beautiful. BH Cosmetics is also extremely affordable. I went out and purchased this beautiful palette. I bought a couple single shadows from JD Glow, which are absolutely to die for. I almost forgot to mention that in repurchases for the year that I was on my no-buy, I had spent a total of $220.13. That's $220 for the entire year I spent, which is really quite an accomplishment. I used to spend $400 to $500 a month on makeup. And $220 mainly came from like makeup wipes, like setting spray, and just a few repurchased items. Nothing really crazy along the way. $220 for an entire year is all that I have spent. And that number is just a driving force for me to continue to make healthy spending habits and spending decisions. And for empties for the year that I was on my no-buy, I have used up $669.31. Now to me, that is a really good number. I know people that get up into the thousands. I'm so happy with $670, let's say, for the entire year that I've used up in makeup is a lot. That's a lot of makeup used up. I'm definitely proud of that number. And it's not even fully the end of the year yet. Hopefully by the time this video goes up, it will be close to the end of the year. So I was just excited to kind of sit down. I definitely had to break the news to you guys on why I decided to just go ahead and end my no-buy after a year. If I don't feel that something is going to be beneficial to me in the long run or by extending it, then there's really no point in doing it. Let me know if you guys would be interested in the future in any types of beauty budget types of videos, or if you're interested in wanting to see me set up some type of a beauty budget, please let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to create some kind of video based around that and like how my experience has been so far since ending the no-buy. Honestly, there really hasn't been many drastic changes. Like I haven't went from like 1 to 100 in the past 2 weeks that I've been off of the no-buy, that's for sure. I don't find myself browsing. I don't find myself going to deliberately look out and seek buying makeup. So I know that the no-buy, even though it was a year long, was still very beneficial to me. And I'm actually really proud of myself. The fact that I have made it an entire year, a year-long no-buy is really a long time. I'm quite proud of myself for that. Some people can't even make it a month or months, let alone an entire year. So I'm very, very proud of the strength and the willpower to see this thing through at least an entire year. That's basically it, you guys. I just wanted to sit down and share some helpful tips, things that have kind of helped me along my no-buy journey, on ways that it can possibly help you on yours. Let me know in the comments if you are planning on starting a no-buy or a low-buy in 2021, and what are some ways that you are going to really set up healthy boundaries for yourself. I would love to know. That's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and comment down below. And until my next video, everybody enjoy the rest of their day. Bye!